Hey guys, it's Miss Simpson and it's time for science today. I am teaching you again. You watched a video yesterday and it was like a virtual field trip where the ladies in the video showed you a bunch of animals and their physical adaptations that the animal may have. Well, today I'm going to talk to you about different animal adaptations that we see. So animals can have behavioral adaptations or they can have structural adaptations. So most of the time in fourth grade, we talk about structural adaptations. They're physical, what they look like. This is the way that an animal looks. So what body parts or physical features does it have? So here are some physical adaptations or structural adaptations that we see. The reason that animals adapt like this is for survival. So we might see thorns, spines, or quills like on a porcupine or a hedgehog. Feet or claws, they might have different types of feet, like birds have different feet and alligators have different feet. Those are adapted to their environment. Those are adapted to what they use their feet for. We might see different types of teeth or different types of beaks. So we have a certain type of beak. We have a scoop beak. We have this kind of beak. There's a bunch of different types of beaks. Then we have tails. Now we might have a beaver tail, a monkey tail, the rattlesnake. They all have different types of tail depending on what they use them for. Some other things that we might see that are physical adaptations or structural adaptations are camouflage, like fur, color. Some animals mimic other animals, or sometimes their sounds. They adapt to their environment. So I don't know if you knew this, but like flamingos are pink because they have adapted because they eat so much shrimp. That's what I have read on National Geographic today. They eat so much shrimp that they have adapted over time. So a porcupine has quills on it to protect itself. Or the beaver has a thick tail in order to pat down the mud and make their dams. So we might also have animals that have behavioral adaptation. This is what an animal actually does. So sometimes animals migrate. If you've ever seen birds, they go south for the winter because it's warmer in the south. They might spin webs like a spider. They might build nests like a bird, or they might shoot or spray toxin like skunks do. So let's talk about the animal that I picked today. I picked a polar bear. Polar bears have so many different things about them that they have adapted over their environment. Polar bears live in a very cold environment, so they can't just have the same things that other bears do. They had to adapt to their environment. So for one, they have small ears that won't freeze. They have small eyes with no eyelashes and a clear second eyelid. They also have a very tapered head and a black nose with excellent smell. Their fur is colorless to help them camouflage into the snow. They're actually an excellent swimmer and they can swim up to 40 miles at once. So let's talk about their fur. This is one adaptation that they have to help them survive in the cold weather. Number one, the first layer is their guard hair. Then their second layer is underfur to trap in that heat. Number three is black skin to attract the heat. And number four is blubber because they have 3-inch thick blubber, all to keep them warm in the winter. They have super strong legs. The main thing that I wanted to talk about was their fur and their fur between their paw pads so that they don't slip. They keep their feet warm and they're very quiet when they hunt. So the main physical adaptation that I see on this polar bear is their fur. They have adapted with 4 different layers. Now, all bears don't have 4 different layers of fur. They live in different places. They're different colors. They look different. They're bigger or smaller. But a polar bear is white, and it also has all those different layers to keep it warm. So right now, I want you to think of 2 animals that you know have some physical or behavioral adaptations. What you're going to do today is you are going to draw one of each. I want you to draw one animal and label it with their behavioral adaptation and then another animal with their structural adaptation. So right now, get out a piece of paper. I'm going to show you how I'm going to do it. And I want you to fold that paper in half. On one side, I want you at the top to write behavioral. And on the other side, I want you to write structural. So for your behavioral adaptation, I want you to draw an animal, and I'm going to draw just a person so that you know what I'm talking about. You have to actually draw an animal to the best of your ability. And I want you to tell me what behavioral adaptation it has. So for my person, I'm going to write they spin webs. Now, you have to do something that actually happens. I'm just doing this for an example. So I would draw my animal, I put behavioral, draw my animal, and I would tell me what adaptation that animal has that helps it survive. Then for my other side, I'm going to draw another animal with a structural adaptation. What is it physically? What does it change physically? Not about what an animal does, has changed it physically. And I'm going to put, maybe it has, I don't know, thorns or spines on it. If you would like some help and you don't really know what animals have different adaptations, you can just pick two animals and Google those animals. So let's say you picked a turtle and you picked a monkey. Google turtles' physical adaptations or a monkey's physical adaptations to help you out. So I want you to be researching those animals. All right. That is all I have for you today. I'm going to post this anchor chart right down below for you to use when you are drawing your two animals and labeling them with what adaptation that they have. All right. Bye, guys.